Well, hello everybody. Today I want to bring you a topic that I think might surely help you over the next couple of days. We're going to speak here about the front side of the move and the back side of the move. I'm going to give you an example here. How you can use this in your advantage. Many people take trades in the front side of the move, thinking of an anticipation of the move that they think that the stock is going to make. Oftentimes, it's safer to wait for the stock to actually confirms that whatever your idea is, it's what exactly the price is going to do before jumping. But again, I'm really not trying to tell you here to go in front of on the front side of the move or the back side of the move. I'm just going to try to give you an example here. And to start with this analogy here, I'm going to show you a long trade. It was actually pretty decent and clean today, using a prior area of breakout as a support. Okay, so the same thing. It's in regards to the last one of the last videos that I posted, using a pullback to get a decent entry, and at the same token, using a bounce if you're trying to short a thing. But we're gonna use a pullback here, and I'm gonna try to simplify things to explain to you what it is and how you can use it. As you are today at a bullish trend coming from back here a couple of days ago. This is 1, 2, and this is third day, which we are keeping this bullish trend coming up in the 15-minute time frame, right? You can see here right out of the gate, it's going to take it back for a second, and you see how it came up, opened around here, pulled back a little bit, and started to hover on top of the 100 simple moving average, VWAP, printing a little bit of a sideways price action on top of the VWAP, and then starts to open up this one level here and put the trend line there. If you notice right here, when we start to pick up this nice little bit of volume, right, and we're gonna take the high of this candle, 15.15, for that other spot that I want to refer to. Put the trend line here for the pre-market highs, and we're gonna put the trend line here. We're gonna make it yellow because I like to keep my intraday levels in another color, so I know which one is a daily level and which one is a intraday level, right? So that way I can keep the range and look at the prior levels that I'm looking at for the breakouts and support and resistance. So looking at here the 15-minute time frame, we can see here again, front side of the move, this thing starts to open up and get on top of this VWAP, starts to push, and this is a prior area of a breakout with this high on the pre-market hours here, right? Breaking the high of this candle, $15.29, breaks it right here. But after the break, see how it starts to get a little bit of a congestion area here. All right, it starts to pull back, gives you on the way back a bear flag pattern, gets onto the VWAP. But what I want to show you here is that nice pullback that we had, and what I refer to what is back side of the move. The chances are that if you don't get to pick this move here, breaking this range, if you didn't see this happening and started to get prepared on the pre-market hours or the prior day, you might not be able to see this thing breaking out, and it might hit your scanners. You're gonna come right back to it and gonna see it here getting on top and having that reversal, printing this indecision candle on the 15, coming right back down, getting under the VWAP, and starts to consolidate. But look at the area where it actually did pull back. Again, we see this area, prior area of a breakout. This is an area we have a high here on the pre-market hours at $15.20. $0.09 that printed a 9:05 in the morning during pre-market hours. So pre-market highs breaking out, coming here and pull it back 15.29, 15.31. So by 2 cents, we don't have to deal by the penny though. We don't have to do things by the penny because pennies, these numbers are not absolute. But look at how it pulled back. And now you can imagine if you have a freight train, right? You have a freight train. We're gonna use this freight train as the trend. We're gonna imagine the freight train moving forward pretty fast. That's the trend. And as a lot of people say, the trend is your friend. So we're gonna use this analogy here, looking at the trend as if it was a freight train. When the freight train gets to a place where the things are a little congested, there might be a little bit of a curve, and they have to slow down to take a little turn here or there on the tracks or to merge into another track, you might get a little bit of a slowdown. Now imagine that you have to get on that freight train because you're running and you need to get to another town and you have not a horse or a car or a bicycle or nothing. And this is the vehicle that might get you to where you need to go. And so you need to wait for that spot where the freight train is going to slow down a little bit. And so that gives you enough opportunity for you to jump inside or on top of the train because you know that the train is going to keep on moving forward. Again, you see the trend, you see it coming back here. From back here, it's still bullish trend for the last 3 days or last 2 days. As of today, this is the third day, and we're getting a really nice break. We already had a pretty nice break of the pre-market highs, and you think that, okay, if we pull back, how are we going to deal with this? And this is a prior breakout area. This pre-market highs here. Okay, so we pulled back to a prior breakout spot and gives you another support here for a follow-through move that the freight train slowed down, and now you're gonna find a spot where the momentum of the freight train has slowed down, but it's not gonna stop. And what you want to do there is jump on top of it in follow through, continue on with the move towards where the freight train is going, so you can get to what the destination for you might be. And so that's the analogy for this freight train. Is what we're using here to give you some sort of explanation and try to simplify things as why to wait for a pullback for your entry. Because now you see the trend coming to a little bit of a slowdown and giving you an area where it might be a little bit of a safer thing to enter. Now, I am not telling you that you need to pick the exact bottom or get in by the penny right there. But if you see that the prior breakout spot held now as support, being resistance, and pulling back, holding that area now for that support, 1 and 2, third time now we get on top and we start to consolidate on top of it and start to print higher lows, you might end up having an idea that the trend is still bullish now. Look at how nice it had this consolidation coming right back down to the prior area of breakout spot, getting that support and following through to the upside. Now the 1524, we're gonna pick this area here just to see how much it moved. $1.18, $1.18 on that nice move that we have there. Okay, so I also want to and see here, there's one thing that I noticed into the closing bell, and I wanted to, because I've seen this pattern so many times, and I noticed how he held support back here. I'm gonna put a trend line here, although this is out of the topic, but I've seen it happen in front of my eyes so many times that this is crazy. It held that little support and retest a couple of times. One, come up, tap here. Although we're not gonna take it all the way back here, but topping candle, and we have a gravestone doji on 5 coming down, support, up, rejection, down again, holding the same area of support, up, down, holding, right back up, consolidation, breaking. But there was one thing that I noticed, and that is that I felt that this thing was going to break before it came down. I liked this one more as a short into the closing as a short, but I felt so hesitant to taking this trade because I felt that it was going to hold. And by the time that actually pulled back here with that hanging man on this top here on the 5 minutes, I missed it. I felt so messed up because I moved away. I moved away from my computer. And by the time I came back, it was already coming down. I felt pretty bad about it, but things happen like this. Also want to see if I show you here SDC for a second, though I don't want to get in too much into this stuff because the video here is a little bit standard already, and I just wanted to show you here the front and back side of the move here and give you a little bit of an analogy here on how to see these things and use it for your advantage. But SDC as of last Friday, you can see here, it was actually so decent that right out of the gates it held under the view up. If you see the pre-market hours right here, we had a prior area at the 1123, pardon me here, and it got under the view app, and every time it came here, it hit that view app and kept coming down, and we got a bear flag formation of the one here, and that trend just came down so nicely. Look at how this daily level here at $10.87 held so nicely. 1087 right here on the prior low. This one, look at this flush that we had today, but this prior candle here held that resistance. Now when it came down, it had this nice bounce and gave us that nice little entry here on that daily level. Come down towards that $11.50 we're talking about 32 cents here in this little flush, holding that support. I think this is the same type of bounce that I just showed you here on SOUR like a minute ago on the 5 minute time frame. This is the same support, come up, rejection, down, support again, and come right back up. And look at how the view up rejected here to come right back down again. It was pretty amazing. It was pretty clean right out of the gates today when he held that resistance on that view app. So clean coming down. It was extraordinary and very clean. Mattel, the same thing. Hail here on this name on Mattel. It came down right out of the gates today with a little bit of consolidation flagging in from the pre-market hours, but this consolidation was got broken onto the view app, and this doji that we have here, a little bit of indecision on the 5, and we rejected the view app, coming down so nicely. And I want to show you something here before I let you guys go. These levels here that we had, a little bit of congestion at 80 cents if I'm mistaken, 1381 and 1380 here, and we came down. This is a prior area on that low on the pre-market hours. Actually, this is after hours on the prior session. I think it was last Friday. Let me look at the date here. On 26 actually was today, and we had the low here, and then we have this little bit of congestion here. That is, let me see if the high is 1380, top of pre-market hour candle, low right here 55, and we also have by the penny here a little bit of congestion at 1381, coming right back down on the bear flag pattern on the 1, coming down to retest that prior low key area here on that low of the pre-market hours session, support, right back to the view about 81, down, up again to reject the same 81, and come right back down to reject the prior support here and slam down onto the 1355, right? So again, these levels are extraordinary tool to use for you to capitalize on where you might end up finding support and resistance, that you can use these levels on an intraday basis and also the daily levels, so you can take those things for your advantage. I really hope that this video has found you well and it has actually served you in any capacity, and I was able to show you something new and that you were able to learn something new with this video today.